Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This of course is another anime reaction video. Today, we are getting into the penultimate Eden Zero episode 24. Only one more week and then the season is over, and then that's when I go start the manga. I have to I don't technically have to, but I'm going to anyway, reread the entirety of what was adapted in season 1 through the manga before I start doing manga reactions. But that shouldn't take too long. I should probably have that done before episode 25 comes out, unless I get distracted with schoolwork again, because that's the reason why this is coming out later than usual. I want to hopefully have this out before Monday. By the end of the day today, on Sunday, when I'm recording this, I want this to be out, but I can't guarantee it because I'm recording this. Currently, it is 10:57 a.m. because I got distracted. I was up until like 2 or 3 a.m. Earlier today because I procrastinated on writing an essay and I had to spend 5 hours doing it the day before it was due. You know how it is. But this is a really exciting episode. This and the last one will be super exciting because so much is going on. Last episode was amazing. We got introduced to the Hiro Arsenal, who has nothing to do with any of the cast we previously were introduced to. You know, Arsenal isn't anyone we know, obviously. You know, sarcasm, wink, wink, you know what I mean? But that was really cool. But in the background, so to speak, I think it took up a majority of the episode, so... But I just mainly focused on Arsenal when he appeared. But Shiki is fighting Madame Kurenai and her robot. I believe it's called the Kurenai Dragoon. I might be misremembering it. It'll be fine. I'll see it in the episode again. But now that we've beaten one of Madame Kurenai's three, like big three type thing, there's only two left: Nino and the creepy cage face whip guy. So it's going to be curious to see who's gonna fight who, and I think I kind of know who, because I think it was mentioned in the comments of one of the episodes when they were fighting in Xiao Mei's, I believe, arena to get info from her, that those fights there would like predict their fights in the future, or like foreshadow their fights in the future. So that makes me think that that eventually whatchamacallit, because that kind of makes sense. Because I've lost my train of thought. Wise had to fight somebody super fast, and he used some sort of technology to his advantage to beat the super fast opponent, right? That happened in both fights. So that means that for Rebecca, she'll be fighting Nino, because in the arena fight with Xiao Mei's whatever, in Xiao Mei's like a little game, she had to fight somebody who looked super weak and nerdy, but was actually pretty strong. And then finally, Shiki fought some guy who was super easy to beat. So I can only imagine that's supposed to be, you know, the masked whip guy. And Homura fought a different version of Valkyrie, who I will refer to Valkyrie as Homura's real mother, because Kurenai is definitely not. So even though obviously Homura wouldn't fight Valkyrie, she probably is gonna be the one to finish off Madame Kurenai, unless it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, Drac and Joe finishes them off, and it's like a cliffhanger for season 2 or something. I don't know, but that's just what makes the most sense to me. But either way, as I said before, super excited to get into episode 24 of Eden Zero. Excited and terrified at the same time, because I know it's coming to an end this season. But without further ado, as always, there will be links down in the description below to either Pixel Drain or BitChute, which will take you to the full-length uncut reaction. So go ahead and follow one of the links, then you can come back to YouTube for the discussion. So without further ado, let's get started with episode 24 of Eden Zero. I probably definitely shouldn't read it. Why do I keep moving this? I'm not done recording. I probably shouldn't even try to read the next episode, like next time on Eden Zero, this is the episode title type thing, because I should probably, you know, keep that to myself. Keep it to the anime until I actually get to that episode. But talk about an exciting episode. So much happened. I don't want it to end, man. But next episode is the last episode of the season. I have to get started with the manga, which unless again I get distracted with schoolwork or reading other things or watching other things, I will likely have read what was adapted in season 1 by the time episode 25 comes out. Obviously not reading what was adapted in episode 25 until after that episode is over. But after that point, I should likely be starting the manga, which is exciting to think about too, because the manga's at what? Chapter 160? If I'm not off, I think the anime ends maybe on volume 8 or so? I don't know. Either way, I got some catching up to do in regards to that, and then I'll probably figure out something else to read while I wait every week for one chapter, because that's gonna be hell as well. Because at least with the waiting a week for an anime episode, it's like 2 to 3 chapters adapted into one episode type of thing. But I guess that's the pain of having to, the pain of reading manga weekly. But anyway. Like I said, this episode was amazing. We're getting some more of the fight between Shiki and Madame Kurenai. I don't know why I didn't suspect Shiki of being willing to, sacrifice his own, like, fists for the sake of beating up a piece of shit that made his friend cry. But now that I think about it, he totally is, because he was basically willing to, even though he probably would have, even if Rebecca wasn't, like, crying, back in, like, the first episode, he was willing to, like, turn on his robot friends that he'd been with for basically his entire life, because they made Rebecca cry, on top of, seemingly turning evil. So it only makes sense now with somebody who is legitimately evil and made his friend cry for an even worse, like, offense. The biological mother killing the real mother, the stepmother, which is again the real mother. No. It's I totally can see now that's definitely what Shiki would do. And now I'm just waiting because now that we've got all of the side fights done with the other, like, the three, I'll still call them lieutenants because I don't know their official name. The 3 lieutenants, now that they've been beaten, all that's left is to finish off Madame Kurenai. So that means that should be majority of the entire episode of the next episode, with maybe some, like, epilogue stuff where they're, like, having conversations with the people who are in the labor district, maybe, like, a little inspirational speech about how much everybody on Eden Zero means to Homura and helping her move forward despite Valkyrie's passing away. And maybe they'll make a comment about like the arsenal and Rebecca's leaper ability, and as well as Homura taking up the mantle of being Valkyrie. Maybe they're gonna mention that, like, because what was Y saying is that we can't, like, go into deeper space or something like that because Eden Zero doesn't have all of its shining stars. I wonder if we're gonna make a mention of that. I wonder if that's gonna be like the cliffhanger to, like, be like, read the manga or wait for season 2 type thing. It's like we got new Valkyrie, so we can go into deeper space, and also Draken Joe, he's on the prowl. He's gonna fuck some shit up. Still waiting for him to fuck some shit up, but it's gonna happen. But either way, so getting back to, like, just, like, going through the episode, see, like, scene by scene, like, talking about it. This fight between Shiki and Kurenai. He seems like maybe it's a case of, like, he's not smart, but he's, like, battle smart, because and I think more like the goofy comedy that comes from Shiki is just him not being very, like, socially, like, adjusted, because he was living with robots this whole time. He doesn't know specifically all of the things to do when it comes to interacting with normal people. But again, that would be pretty cool if he was different from a lot of shonen protagonists, in that he's actually, like, regular smart, but it could be he's like battle smart. He recognizes, oh, my ether won't work, then I'll just figure out a way to still hurt you, technically using my ether, but not in the traditional way type thing, which is still really cool either way. Now, I like the fight between Rebecca and Nino because it's two unwilling, like, participants. They don't really want to fight each other, but on one, but the reason why I think Rebecca wins, not on top of having a really strong ability, is also because he has a bit of a stronger conviction in this whole fight. Nino's only fighting because it's like a contractual obligation, and his hands are kind of tied. If and he should if he were to like fail, but Madame Kurenai is still able to take them out, then he would definitely like face severe punishment. But his heart isn't necessarily in the battle. He's like, when he punched Rebecca, he had his eyes closed and he like, I think he made like a little grunt noise. So he wasn't like necessarily happy about it. He's just like, it is what it is. I had to do it. I'm not proud of it. I didn't want to, but work is work type thing. And I'm noticing, yeah, he looked like he was unwilling. And it's part of why, again, Rebecca won, because she had time to think about what was happening. She had time. She used her time floating through the air after being hit to strategize, and then she unlocked her ability, which was so cool, by the way. So this fight was really nice. It had less of a spectacle quality to it, like Arsenal versus, I believe his name was Baku. That was a bit more spectacle when it came, especially when it came to Arsenal. The Wise using his ether gear to like change it around with the detailed animation for that. This was more like story and like character rich, you know what I mean? This was more about understanding what was being set up previously and then developing Rebecca's abilities, which is so awesome. And I love that like little interaction between her and Nino where they were fucking quoting, or she was quoting anime, and they were talking about it a little bit when they were fighting. Now again, it hasn't been explicitly stated what exactly her powers is, and maybe it's one of those things where I have to wait, or it's just like one of those things that isn't fully explained, at least not yet. I don't know what's up with that, but if it's just like speed, which would make sense because never mind, but she moves really fast, and that's indicated by the fact that it's on her legs, and also she can turn back time a little bit when necessary. And of course, like ether is like a limited thing. If she ran out of ether, she couldn't use that ability. So that's how they like, it's like regulated, so she's not super overpowered. And as far as I know, there's probably a limit on how much she can like rewind time. Not sure what it is yet, but again, it almost to me seemed like she was like using her memory of the past of past abilities to fight, because she was like thinking about speed, and then she like rushed forward, and then she used the kick that she used. Well, wasn't the same kick that she used on the other guy, but if that's wrong, then I wouldn't be surprised. But either way, God, it was a cool fight. And then obviously it was less of a fight and more of a, well, because it wasn't like heavily in one person's favor, but there wasn't much of a fight, because most of the time Homura couldn't do much about it. But then she pulled out that one big brain play. she knew that if because she knew that he knew that tying up their hands would stop their ether gear from working. So she's like, okay, once he gets attacked, and maybe she even purposefully missed without like letting it slip what her plan was, but get him to like rush forward and stand in the exact position where he was when he was tying up her arms, so where that sword she knocked up in the air would come down and stab him in the chest. God damn. I don't know how she did it, but I'm proud of her. That was a badass, and I'm so glad she's feeling better and she's ready to move on, and you know, and like there was some like slight calculation errors in Homura's little plan that got him on like the this part of his chest, so it maybe punctured a lung, but he could still slightly breathe and he's still alive. Should have been over here, get him in the heart, or like, where's the heart? It's like around here, right? Whatever. He's still alive, but I guess we'll just have to let it go. Real quick, actually, I just remembered. I wanted to look into any potential like lessening of like blood and gore or whatever during the fights, but it's gonna be, I don't know which chapters they are, so I'll have to like, it'll take me a second to find which what the fuck. Oh, Sister. Wasn't expecting that. Where the fuck is this? I think this is too far ahead. Hello, witch. Yeah, no, I think this is too far ahead. I don't know what's happening there, but yeah, I think that's too far ahead. Where the fuck? 51. Hey, hey, Rebecca. God, some of these like chapter covers, pretty nice, I will say. Oh, hey, this was in the first ED. That's fun. That's a fun little thing. No, it's about the same as it was in the manga as it is in the anime, with that little black and white. It's still pretty cool, but where's that one shot of Shiki where his hand was like busted up a little bit there? All right, whatever. I can't find it, but it's not even important, so it's fine. But that's pretty much all I have to say about this episode. Crazy episode. Really excited to get into the next episode when that comes out a week from now. Eden Zero season 1 almost over. If you enjoyed this video, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload in the future. It also helps me out a lot. Thank you once again for watching. Peace.